Welcome back to the deep dive. So, today we're tackling something fascinating, really digging into this puzzle. Why do some people seem to just effortlessly attract great opportunities? New clients, breakthroughs, money.
While others, yeah, equally smart, working just as hard, feel like they're constantly pushing a boulder uphill. It's a big question.
Exactly. And the source material we're looking at today points to something called the Billionaire Brain Wave, or BBW. It suggests the answer isn't just luck or sheer effort.
Right. The claim is it's more about internal stuff, specifically vibration, mindset, and, well, mental alignment.
Okay, that sounds potentially out there. So let's be clear. Our goal here isn't to endorse this, but to really unpack the ideas behind it. How does a sound-based system claim it can actually reprogram your subconscious and, make you attract success?
Let's start with the base idea, which kind of merges old philosophies with newer cognitive science. The core concept is your outer world reflects your inner state.
Meaning the opportunities you see, or maybe don't see, are tied to how you're thinking and feeling.
Precisely. It's about your mental and energetic framework. If that framework is built on stress or doubt or scarcity,
Then that's the reality you tune into.
that's the argument. Which brings us to what the sources call the scarcity trap. This is the deep-seated belief that good things, money, success, luck, whatever, are limited and hard to get.
And when you're operating from that place of stress or worry,
Your brain basically filters out possibilities.
yeah,
It becomes incredibly efficient at confirming your belief that things are scarce, so you literally don't notice pathways that might be right in front of you.
we see that all the time, don't we? That feeling of being stuck, the anxiety making decisions harder.
And that anxiety, that low-level hum of stress, keeps your, let's call it, mental frequency low. So the idea behind BBW, according to these sources, is to flip that script internally.
To shift you out of scarcity thinking.
Exactly, into what they call abundance consciousness. This means thinking with more clarity, confidence, even expectation. The program claims it activates a specific wealth frequency to help do this.
So the change isn't some kind of magic spell. It's meant to be behavioral. You start being so afraid of losing.
Right.
You start seeing solutions instead of just problems, and you take action without all that usual, dragging your feet.
It shifts how you make decisions, fundamentally. Less running from problems, more moving toward possibilities, which honestly is a characteristic you see in a lot of high performers.
Okay, but now the mechanics. This is where people often get skeptical. It's described as a sound-based neural entrainment program. Can you break down what that means? What sounds are we talking about?
Yeah, this is key. Neural entrainment isn't mystical. It's a documented process where your brain waves naturally sync up with external rhythmic stimuli, like sound or light pulses.
Oh.
BBW apparently uses specific audio frequencies. The main ones highlighted are theta and gamma waves.
Gamma, isn't that the one linked to those aha moments? High-level thinking?
That's exactly it. Gamma waves are fast, over 40 hertz. They're associated with processing information across different brain areas simultaneously. Think intense focus, bursts of creativity, quick insights, if that rapid cognitive function you see in innovators.
So the idea is, if you can get your brain to produce more gamma waves,
Theoretically, you spend more time in that peak state, having those breakthrough thoughts more often.
makes sense. And theta.
Theta is the other side of the coin. Slower waves, 4 to 8 hertz, they're linked to deep relaxation, meditation, and importantly, accessing the subconscious mind. So the program seems to use theta to make the mind more receptive to change.
And the sources mention a very specific frequency, theta 7.83 hertz. Why that number?
That's interesting. 7.83 hertz often gets called the Schumann resonance. It's basically the background electromagnetic frequency of the Earth itself.
Really?
Yeah. The claim in our sources is that syncing the brain to this specific frequency promotes a really deep, calm, almost restorative state. Makes the mind very open to suggestion or reprogramming.
So, let me see if I've got this right. They use theta, particularly this Schumann resonance frequency, to get you relaxed and receptive. And then they introduce gamma frequencies to stimulate that high-level intuitive flow state thinking, all aiming for that mental zone where top performers say things just click.
That seems to be the working model described. And the idea is just 7 minutes a day of listening helps train your brain to access that state more easily.
Sort of like a shortcut to thinking like someone who naturally expects success, maybe without needing years of meditation practice?
That's the pitch, essentially. Training the brain to adopt the patterns of high-achieving minds.
Okay, this leads us nicely into the next piece. Why don't people see opportunities that might already be there? This involves the brain's filter, the reticular activating system, or RAS.
The RAS is fascinating and probably doesn't get enough attention. Think about it. Right now, you, the listener, are getting bombarded with billions of bits of information through your senses.
Way too much to handle consciously.
Exactly. Your conscious mind handles maybe, 100 bits per second? The RAS is the gatekeeper. It decides what tiny fraction gets through to your awareness.
And how does it decide?
Based on what you deem important, your beliefs, your focus, your current concerns. It filters reality to match what you're already looking for or believe to be true.
So that's the opportunity blind spot right there.
Pretty much. If your subconscious script is running, making money is hard, or good things don't happen to me, the RAS diligently filters your perception to confirm that.
Wow. So you could literally walk past a solution or miss a connection because your brain has tagged it as irrelevant.
That's the danger of a negatively programmed RAS. It just filters it out as noise.
So BBW isn't claiming to create opportunities out of thin air. It's supposed to work by retraining the subconscious.
To expect success.
And if you expect success, your RAS recalibrates. It starts looking for evidence of success instead of evidence of scarcity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It sharpens your awareness towards abundance. You start noticing things, synchronicities, ideas, potential partners that were likely there all along, but you were tuned out.
You're shifting the frequency you're tuned into, so to speak.
Right, which brings us back to this idea of vibration or frequency. Let's try to ground that. When the sources talk about low-frequency repelling opportunities, is it physics, or is it more about the state that fear or anxiety puts you in?
Good question.
I think it's highly correlated with your cognitive and emotional state. A high frequency here really means a state of mind. Gratitude, openness, confidence, low stress. When you're in that state, you're naturally more receptive, creative, sharp.
And low frequency is the opposite. Anxiety, cynicism, doubt.
Yeah, and those states trigger avoidance, poor decision-making, tunnel vision, which then looks like bad luck or being stuck. So the sound program claims to be an intervention tool to help shift you towards that higher, more receptive cognitive state using entrainment.
Okay, that makes more sense. It's less magic, more like cognitive tuning. The sources use an analogy, don't they? The tuning fork.
BBW isn't the orchestra. It's the tuning fork, helping you get in tune with the music the opportunity's already playing around you.
It's about internal calibration for better external perception.
You got it.
So for someone listening, the obvious question is, does it work? What kind of results are actually reported by people who use this kind of system and manage to shift their internal state?
Well, the reports tend to focus on cognitive changes first. Things like clearer thinking, making decisions much faster because that underlying stress is gone.
Less mental fog.
Exactly. And a big one is a noticeable increase in intuitive insights. Those moments that feel like lucky coincidences or sudden ideas popping up.
Ah, the lucky breaks that seem to happen when you're feeling good anyway.
Right. It's like when you're aligned and receptive, the opportunity seems to find you. And then the external results reportedly follow. People mention unexpected job offers, financial improvements, creative projects suddenly taking off.
The idea being that the external reality starts to reorganize itself to match the new internal frequency.
That's the claim. The person shifts from that desperate chasing mode to more of an attracting mode.
Which ties into the whole effortless part. That's often misunderstood, isn't it? It's not about no effort, but maybe less struggle.
Exactly. The common idea is success, grind, exhaustion. But these sources argue real, sustainable success happens when your actions are aligned with your mindset and, yes, your vibration.
The effortlessness comes because you're not fighting yourself anymore. No internal resistance.
Precisely. You're not battling those deep subconscious scarcity beliefs. BBW aims to help shift those beliefs without needing intense willpower or years of therapy. You achieve a state that's more naturally calm, focused, optimistic.
So you stop chasing and start attracting because your whole system expects success.
That's the core idea.
Okay, so if someone listening is intrigued and wants to explore this, what are the practical steps the sources recommend for actually using something like BBW effectively? There were 5 key instructions.
Right, they emphasize consistency and intention. First, listen daily. The suggestion is just 7 minutes, ideally in the morning, to kind of set your mental tone.
Makes sense. Second, stay consistent. Like any habit or retraining, repetition is key for the neural entrainment to take hold.
Third is active engagement. Visualize while listening. Don't just zone out. Actively picture the life or outcome you desire. This gives your RAS clear instructions on what to look for.
Like programming your internal GPS.
Kind of, yeah. Fourth, practice gratitude. Regularly feeling grateful throughout the day apparently helps maintain that high-frequency state and amplifies the effects.
And the fifth one, which can be tough, trust the process. Let go of trying to control everything. Be open to how opportunities might show up, perhaps in unexpected ways.
Yeah, the surrender part is often the hardest, but maybe the most crucial. The whole system relies on getting into that state of aligned flow.
So if we wrap this all up, the central insight from this deep dive seems to be opportunities themselves might not be that rare. What's rare is the internal alignment, the right mindset, focus, and maybe vibration needed to actually see and grab them.
And this BBW system proposes a method, a shortcut perhaps, to help synchronize those elements, to help you realize the abundance might already be here, just hidden by your current internal filters.
Which leaves us with a really potent question for you, the listener, to consider. Given that your reticular activating system is constantly working, filtering your reality to confirm your deepest beliefs, what core belief, maybe one you're not even aware of, could be subtly shaping your reality right now?
What limiting script might be running in the background, preventing you from noticing the good stuff, the potential, the abundance that's already around you?
Maybe think about shifting that filter just experimentally and see what changes.
The powerful thought experiment.
Indeed. Something to chew on this week. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.
See you next time.